Hi guys, about 400,000 drivers escaped the ULEZ fines. More charges for London's drivers, abundant lithium found in an extinct volcano, and what happens when you let influencers design a car. I'll tell you all of these stories right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
So this story broke yesterday. It turns out that over 400,000, that's 417,080 ULEZ fines have been dodged. That's fines for entering London's ultra-low emission zone without paying the £12.50 daily charge. Now this is before the latest extension to cover the whole of London, which happened at the end of August. In fact, it's not even that unusual because it turns out that last year in 2022, 487,925 drivers escaped without getting the fine, which is normally about £180 reduced to 90 if you pay within 2 weeks. So those unpaid fines from 2022 mean still that the TfL, Transport for London, is missing out on £12 million. You really want to weep for them, don't you? So what's happening? Well, data shortfall. What? Well, basically that means that they can't trace the owners of those cars. Unsurprisingly, many of the cars that they can't trace are actually vehicles registered abroad. So how does that work? Well, if the DVLA, that's the Driver Vehicle Licensing Agency, cannot supply the car's details, then TfL, Transport for London, says that they seek other sources. If a foreign registered vehicle is used in the ULEZ and not registered with TfL, the details are passed to European Parking Collection, EPC, which identifies the relevant country and applies to obtain details from the relevant licensing agency. I'm not sure that most people driving in from Europe know that they have to register with TfL. I guess also that's when the mayor sends in the debt collectors that he's spending the £152 million on, which I covered in a previous video, including collecting from overseas drivers. Also, they only mentioned European parking collection. Well, what about non-European cars? There's quite a few of those in London, aren't there?
Brown car guy.
Meanwhile, more charges are coming for London's beleaguered motorists. So yesterday it emerged that the new Silvertown tunnel will have tolls from 2025. I think we knew that. But what we know now is that it's being reported that they will be as high or as much as £5.25. So in each direction. So that means that if you go and come back, that's £10.50. Oh, and of course at Blackwall Tunnel as well. Add in the £12.50 ULEZ charge, and should you need to go into central London, there's also another £15 charge. So if you have a non-ULEZ compliant card, so God forbid, if you happen to work in central London and need to commute from East London, you could be looking at a daily charge in total of up to £38, and that's before you've even paid for the petrol or diesel. Wow. Yesterday, it was reported that because the mayor has set the prices so high, he's written to the government to say he is considering a low-income residents discount for the tunnels. What? The mayor said in a letter addressed to Transport Secretary Mark Harper, years on from that decision, I guess the decision to make the tunnels and put a toll on them, local residents in Tower Hamlets, Newham and Greenwich are facing a severe cost of living crisis. Oh, you noticed, huh? And whereas West London residents have multiple free options to cross the river, people in East London currently rely solely on the Blackwall Tunnel. Yes? So he actually recognizes the hardship that he is imposing on people. But on the other hand, he makes it sound like he's trying to help Londoners out. It's like someone setting fire to your wallet and then trying to put it out with a squirt gun while expecting to be hailed a hero. Keeping this and, of course, the previous story in mind, I suspect that there will be some nefarious types out there that might soon be doing a very healthy trade in fake foreign number plates.
Brown car guy.
Of course, if you drive an electric car, then you won't have to pay. Actually, no. I think you will have to pay the tunnel charges, but you won't have to pay ULEZ obviously because you have a newer compliant car, and congestion charging, although for that you do need to make sure that your EV is actually registered with TfL. Anyway, a couple of the issues with EVs are said to be that we'll probably have a shortage of lithium, which we need for the batteries, by around 2030. Relative to the demand that's expected. And of course, the other thing is that we're relying very heavily on China for those EV batteries. Well, it turns out that scientists have discovered the largest lithium deposit in the world inside an extinct volcano in the United States. Get this, it is estimated that we will need about 1 million metric tons of lithium to meet global demand by 2040. That's 8 times more than was produced last year. Now this volcano, it contains up to 120 million tons of lithium, which not only would be enough to supply the world for decades, but would also make it cheaper because there's so much of it at one location. And getting at it shouldn't be a problem, as the volcano exploded about 16 million years ago and then formed this rare metal inside the volcanic rock. The amount of lithium here is actually 12 times more than what was considered previously to be the largest deposit of lithium, and that was in the salt flats of Bolivia. Now, mining could start in about 3 years' time, but environmental groups are up in arms about it. Hang on, I thought they wanted us to drive EVs. Mixed signals here. And also, 2 indigenous tribes in the area are also objecting because it's sacred land. Plus, don't forget, it's one thing to find and get the lithium out, but the key thing is refining it efficiently, which of course is what China currently does. Well, there be gold in them dar hills, well, lithium anyway, but sadly it seems it'll be some time before it can rescue the American car industry.
Brown car guy.
Now check this out. So this is the latest in a line of crazy concepts that Nissan has been putting out. In a recent video I uploaded, I was actually at the global reveal of one of them right here in London. So this latest one is called the Nissan Hyper Punk. Yep, it's the 4th in the series of the latest EV concepts that they've been putting out, as I've said. Now, the thing about this is that this compact crossover has been tailored for content creators, influencers, artists, and for those into style and innovation. What do content creators need? Well, I'm a content creator, and the thing that I always need when I'm out and about is ways to charge my cameras and devices and all the rest of it. So this thing will have a vehicle to everything, or VTX system, to charge, well, everything. Now that's handy. Now the original, the sort of origami style exterior is quite crazy. But what's really mental is that the onboard cameras, of course it has onboard cameras, what they do is they actually capture the scenery around the car and use AI to convert it to a Manga style, which is then projected on a display around the driver, sort of merging reality and the metaverse. Of course, it's connected to the internet, and of course it has, as I mentioned, AI, but with biosensors in the headrest, it can detect the driver's mood and automatically select the best music and ambient lighting to boost the driver's energy and creativity. Wow, says, you know what, as a content creator, I think I could do with that. So, do you play the online game Fortnite? Well, under the name Electrify the World, the concept vehicles, the Nissan concept vehicles, will become available to players. I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video.
Brown car guy.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.